Luke. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. To start, I love when an action movie gets to be original because I think we have so many action movies that are just franchise based at this point that when we get to kind of come into it fresh, it's an exciting time, especially for audiences. But for you as an actor, when you get to kind of bring that to life, what is the fun for you of being in this genre with something that's new?
Well, it's nice that you mentioned that because you're right. A lot of these big action movies that we see are usually of a franchise. You know every storyline, you know the characters, and that's what brings you back. But it's nice to introduce a new story, new people, um, and I just love the script. When I picked it up, I was like, well, it has elements of everything. There's a bit of romance. There's definitely humor.
Mm.
A lot of it is delivered via my character. There's a family there. There's incredible fight sequences and special effects, and we got to work in Taipei, and it was George, the director, was wonderful to work with. We had a great time. Luc Besson was often there, and obviously he co-wrote the script, so we were in very good hands. And it was nice. It's nice to bring a new story to life, and audiences like that. It's discovering a new storyline and a new journey with hopefully a character that they like. And I thought John was just, he's a great guy. I'd like John as my friend. I think he's cool.
When you get to do, when I talked to George and Zang, I talked about how some of the best action sequences take place in a kitchen, and we don't use that enough. So it's
No,
like
I
there's
know.
so many things you can just grab in the kitchen that make it more
Right?
interesting.
They're
But
actually
when
very dangerous places.
there's so many things that you can do, but when you do have these big action sequence pieces, like you have the movie theater, you have like a kitchen or whatever it is. But do you have fun in those moments? I know they're very choreographed, but do you have fun kind of thinking of the things like your
So much
character
fun.
would?
So much fun. And also, as we were building the fight choreography, I was like, well, why don't we use two walks instead of one? Why don't I use it as a shield? We're all bringing up crazy ideas, and some of them don't make it to the cut, and some do. And it was really fun. I mean, it's just like at one point we realized that all these pots were hanging in front of the guy I needed, and I thought, well, let's just smash him in the face with one of them. It's like it's sort of how John would have done it. He's like,
Yeah.
he's not a trained professional killer. He's just a DA agent, so he's just using whatever he's got in his at his disposal. Which was really really fun, and we had a really good time doing it.
Yeah, and you get to be, the good guy too. My favorite good guy is villain because Han is my favorite character in the Fast and the Furious. Now I'm like, well, now he's a villain in this one. I don't know how to
Uh,
feel as a person. But when you guys are, the as actors, you have to build these relationships. But especially in action movies, I think it's so interesting because you have to very much trust each other because you're doing these fight
mm.
sequences, but you're also playing enemies in those moments. How is it building a relationship between another actor when there's tension between your characters, but you have to trust the other person with sometimes your life, depending on what you guys are doing?
I mean, what's interesting about John and Kwang's storyline is that they've never met, but
Yeah.
John knows of Kwang for 15 years. He knows who this guy is, but they've never met. So when they finally do meet, in that corridor when they
Mhm.
exchange, hostages, for example, um, there's a lot of two people sussing each other out for the first time in the flesh. Obviously, me and Sung did rehearsals with the fight team to learn our choreography, but a lot of it just sort of happened on the day, and it just seemed to work. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it works so well. I love the movie. And before I leave, every time I interview you, tell you you were my first ever interview with a celebrity. And so it just makes me very happy every time I get to
And we're still here, still doing
we're
it.
still doing it. But thank you so much. And I can't wait for everyone to get to see the movie.
Take care, darling. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great one.